Do you hear that? It's another Fri-YAY! Welcome! My name is Megan Enan. This is Fri-YAY. I'm thrilled that you are here today. I hope that we can put a little bit more yay into your day. And I apologize for not being here last week, but I think you survived. So let's get into it today. So today's Fri-YAY is based on a question that Jen asked me, which was, how did you get into music and how did you know that it was right for you? So I thought that the second part of this question was really interesting, especially for our Fri-YAY crew. So the beginning to Jen's question is, how did I get into music? Well, I grew up in a musical family, and so my dad is a theater professional. My mom is a professional pianist. She has spent her career playing for churches, for academic ensembles, choirs, things like that. And they're both amazingly creative and wonderful people. They've done a lot of work in nonprofit arts. And yeah, I'm just couldn't have been happier to grow up in a family like that. And so I think we had a family value of learning learning music, learning theater, learning arts, learning things, arts and culture type things as we were growing up. So I started piano around 6 years old, and then started viola in fourth grade, played that through college. I still play, but for myself, and picked up singing lessons, started lessons for voice in eighth grade, which I highly recommend. Sometimes people ask me when or how young do you teach voice students, and I always say like eighth grade and on. So really, I was in it. I was really lucky to go to a public high school that had just a baller music program, and then followed that in. I have told this story many times before, but I love to tell it again, which is, I thought that I would follow a path of becoming a high school choir teacher because that's just what I was so deeply in love with, and still to this day love choral singing so much. So I thought that I was going to follow a path of being a choral director, high school choral director. And my senior year of high school, my voice teacher said, what are you thinking about doing? And I said that I was planning on following this music education route. And she said, well, have you ever thought about performing? And I was, oh, I don't know. Do you think I could? And she was like, I think you'd be okay. Like, she just was not having it. But God bless you, Renee Root. So Renee really, I always tell that story because I love to say that Renee was my first biggest permission slip. And I remember that because I don't think that she would think of it that way. But for me, it was this giant permission slip that she gave me to pursue my dreams, to pursue my goals, even if I didn't fully know that that was available. I knew what it was like to be my mom's a musician, and to know people who were working in the arts, but I didn't know about the life that I live now, that was available. And so being that person, she really helped me understand that there are just so many ways to be in music. And I got this big old permission slip from her. And I tell that story because I use that as a totem for myself to think about giving out permission slips for people to follow their own paths whenever possible. All the time, which is all the time. Like, it's always possible to follow your own path. So that, I love that story, but I really wanted to pick up on the second part of Jen's question, is how did you know that it was right for you? And I don't think that there's such a thing as like it's right or wrong for you. I think that there is following what you're interested in, what you're excited about, what you're passionate about, and also figuring out how to make your life work. So I knew that because I also, from the background that I was coming from, what I was going to have to figure out my own revenue, my own income generation, that was not a given. And that had to coincide. Either it had to come from music or it had to be in addition to music. So music would be part of that, but there might be other things that were part of that as well. And so I think that, do you know that it's right for you, is, have you claimed that that's who you are? And early on, and also I tell that permission slip story, Renee being, my voice teacher, and saying, like, have you ever considered performing? That was just this moment of me getting to claim being a performer and saying, this is what I do, right? So from that moment, I felt a very strong impulse that that's who I was. That's what I was going to pursue in life, and had to stay committed to that, because there were lots and lots of, there are constantly, still to this day, there are constantly people who don't know that I perform, who are asking me when I'm going to stop performing, who are saying, like, oh, you still do that? Okay. So it always happens. It doesn't go away. And also, it's up to me to choose it. It's up to me to say, this is who I am, claim it, and then pursue it. And so the question of whether or not it was right for me is whether or not I wanted to be claiming it and pursuing it on that day. On any day. Every day I ask myself, is today a day that I'm a musician? And today it is. So I want you to do the same thing for yourself. Is today a day that I'm a composer? Is today the day that I'm an artist? Is today a day that I'm a musician? And if it is, you are. So claim it and move forward as such, right? Because it's right for you. And the way that it fits into your life, the way that you pursue it, will always match what you need it to be. So we are pursuing it in ways where it has to fit our life at the moment. And we're always just kind of rearranging puzzle pieces, like, okay, is it this gig that's going to help me have more time for this thing? Or can I carve out ways to pursue this project with these collaborators? All of that. There's a lot of self-directed, self-guided work that happens when you choose the artist's way. Thank you, Julia Cameron. But I want you to think about that for yourself and say, what is the right path for me as an artist? And so see how we've changed this. We've already claimed that's who I am. Remember, I think one of my very first Fri-YAYs was nobody takes your singer card away. Go back and watch that one. Nobody takes your card away when you say, I'm a musician, I'm a composer, I'm an artist, I'm a dancer, I'm a writer, whatever it is. So nobody takes your card away when you say that, when you claim that. And then it's up to you, what is the right path for me in this work that I do? So I don't know, Jen, if that answers your question, but I thought that was such an important distinction for me and how I've gone about pursuing my path in the arts, is that, yes, I grew up in a musical family, and I still had to find my own path. And I'm so grateful for the information and the knowledge that they passed on to me, also the opportunities that they gave me, and then the things that also other mentors, other colleagues, other friends have allowed me. Every time they said, Megan, have you ever considered X? My ears perk up right away and I go, is that the right path for me, right? So it's not, is music right for me? I know that I'm a musician. I know that I'm a performer. It's, am I pursuing the projects, the collaborations, the gigs, the work that is right for me as a musician, that's right for me as a performer? So that's what I wanted to share with you today. I hope that any of you watching this, you'll let me know how this strikes you. Did you feel like you had a moment, or have had moments, multiple moments, where you asked yourself, is music right for me? And what choices did you make? What answers came to you? I'm so curious. So just message me wherever you're watching this and let me know. And that's it. All right, divas, stay sparkly inside and out.